Welcome back. All right, so Central Division. Central Division kind of quiet mostly, and yet there's a contract we do need to talk about amongst these. So Arizona adding a lot of names today. First off, Matt Villalta, who I mentioned during the live stream. Didn't realize he was UFA. So there you go. Villalta goes to Arizona. Youngish goaltender. I think he's 25, so $775,000 there. Alex Galchenyuk returns to Arizona, so the NHL dream is alive for Galchenyuk. He also gets league minimum of $775,000 this year. Nick Bjugstad returns to the Arizona Coyotes. That had been the rumor. 2 years, $2.1 million per season. Zucker signs a one-year deal in Arizona. Bit of a surprise there. $5.3 million. And Troy Stetcher signs a one-year deal, returning to Arizona as well for $1.1 million. This bodes well for the Arizona Coyotes. The reason being that the Coyotes are a team, of course, we're not sure what their building's going to, where they're going to go, all this fun stuff. They're still getting players signed. So even though, yes, they play out of a university building, I've seen a lot of talk like, well, players just aren't going to sign there, and they're just not going to be players. Today, they picked up 5 guys. Donato signs with the Chicago Blackhawks. It's a 2-year deal worth $2 million per season. So Chicago continues to build up their depth as we look towards next season. Again, still not going to be a playoff team, but there's some depth there, and at least things should be better than what they were this past year. Miles Wood, in a contract that I will call a bit eyebrow-raising, 6-year contract with the Colorado Avalanche at a value of $2.5 million per season. So Colorado, who very often has made a point of proving everybody wrong, will be trying to prove everybody wrong with that contract. That's a long time for Miles Wood. So 6-year contract for him. We'll see how that goes. Dallas, and the reason I'm wearing a Dallas jersey, I think they did well today. Craig Smith signs a one-year deal for $1 million. Sam Steele signs a one-year deal for $850,000 US. But Matt Duchene, 1 year, $3 million, clearly would have left money on the table. I have a hard time thinking there wouldn't have been teams offering more money, but Dallas can offer him the possibility at a Stanley Cup. So Duchene signs a one-year deal with the Dallas Stars. We'll see how it goes, but I do like that ad. I think that's some good value. When you look at Miles Wood gets $2.5 million, Duchene gets $3 million. It's wacky season. Minnesota, Lettieri, the grandson of Lou Nanne, who was well known in Minnesota, of course. 2 years for Lettieri, league minimum there. And Lucchini's been signed. Lucchini probably going to play for their AHL franchise, but it's 1 year, $775,000. I didn't write down if they're two-way contracts. I'm not getting into that as much because that's more of a later on news of the day kind of thing. Nashville was very busy today, surprisingly busy, to be honest. Angelo signs a 2-year deal for league minimum. Also, Grosnick, so getting some depth in net for the minors. Grosnick signs 1 year for league minimum. And then Luke Schenn, 3 years, $2.75 million. That would be too rich for the Canucks. I understand why the Leafs wouldn't want to have that investment there either. The Leafs uptight against the cap. For Schenn, that's a lot of money. And so we'll see how things go for him in Nashville. Gustav Nyquist, 2 years, $3.185 million. There had been some talk about whether or not he might return to Columbus. Instead, he signs with the Nashville Predators. Nyquist, decent, top 9 forward. I think he was underrated somewhat this last season. We'll see how things go in Nashville, and as well as for Ryan O'Reilly. 4 years for O'Reilly at $4.5 million per season. The cap hit, perfectly fine, reasonable. The length of that contract, a bit of an eyebrow raiser to me. But again, I guess Barry Trotz did a good job of selling what he could do for them for O'Reilly in Nashville, as well as for Nyquist and Schenn, and they bought in. So Nashville, a team that barely finished below the playoff line. I don't think they've thrown in the towel on making the playoffs in 2024, but I will agree that trading Johansson, buying out Duchene, and then the moves they made today, the message is things are just getting started, I guess. Then in St. Louis, they signed Malcolm Subban, 1 year at league minimum. He's likely headed for the AHL, right? Walt Kalynuk, 1 year, $775,000 as well. He played in the Canucks organization for part of the year, and then I know they traded him. I think he went to the Rangers organization. At any rate, Kalynuk basically at this point AHLer. Same with Josh Jacobs, who signs 1 year, $775,000. Mackenzie McEachern, 2 years, also at league minimum. I like McEachern, and I think at league minimum, and as a fourth-line option for St. Louis, not a problem. He's played in St. Louis before, of course. And then Winnipeg. Winnipeg gets Jeffrey Viel, 1 year, league minimum. He is a peer enforcer. Laurent Brossoit returns to Winnipeg, 1 year, $1.75 million. Briefly able to view on Twitter the Winnipeg Jets tweet about this and about, oh, look, our graphics team made this up in no time with him in a Jets jersey, because, of course, he played there before, but well played on the post. Nemesnikov returns to Winnipeg, 2-year deal, $2 million per season for him. Colin Delia will be the AHL goaltender. He'll be playing for the Moose. $775,000 on his 1-year deal as well. So things in the Central are relatively busy for most, but Chicago got their work done before free agency. Colorado dealing with a cap crunch, of course. We haven't seen Compher sign at the time I'm recording this. It's possible they're still trying to get Compher re-signed there. And Minnesota, just a couple of minor additions there. But yeah, you have to have those two. You have to have organizational depth. And yes, there are still some big names that are out there. But now I've done the Central Division as well. I'll get the Eastern Divisions done as well over the next little while here. So let me know your thoughts regarding these contracts in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.